It's very nice for you to come here. If you might, please, I want this to be a bit interactive presentation, so if you might come from the rear end closer, that would be cool. My name is Bartek Gajewski. I'm a CEO of Jutsu Games and also CEO of a new company called Games Operators. I'm going to tell about that a bit in a moment. It's a newly created investment and publishing company. So what we did so far was 911 Operator, a really cool game. Please check it out if you don't know it yet. 2 years ago, here at Digital Dragons, we won the first prize at Indie Showcase, and since then it went very fast, and we made quite a good product, sold like 500,000 copies, far better than we expected. Then we are still developing it and making 3 additional DLCs, mobile and console versions for Xbox, PS4, Switch, for iOS, for Google, Android. And before that, we also made a couple of projects, a couple of them are successful, a couple of them unfinished, a couple of them didn't really monetize, but we've been around for quite a while. What we do now is, first of all, the sequel for 911 Operator called Operator 112 Operator, that is going to focus more on Europe than United States. Far bigger game with 3-dimensional maps, with traffic simulation and weather simulation. And another one called Rustler that is still being displayed here at Indie Showcase for the first time. Actually, we didn't even publish any news about it yet, but we want to know your opinions about the game idea. Apart from that, we are making 6 more projects as Games Operators that are being funded, invested, consulted technically and meritorically with other companies. You will learn soon about them, hopefully. I'm going to tell a bit about statistics. So it's not going to be just my thoughts about some things. It's based on data as a research. There are a couple of sources that I'm based on. And first of all, there are 911 Operator researches that we are most familiar with. Various kinds of like Google Analytics, surveys, Steam data, Facebook data. Then there are official reports, a couple of them available worldwide, like for example, the one about Polish gamers that is going to be displayed here at Digital Dragons. Then there are Kickstarter and Kicktrack. That's a tool that allows to predict how the Kickstarter is going to work. And we actually can monitor many campaigns that went through in the history. Then there is Steam and Steam Spy data that's, okay, it's limited, but you can actually take quite a lot from those. There is one closed forum called GameDevelopers.pl. Anyone on GameDevelopers.pl? I am there. Okay, so the rest is not there yet. Okay, that's actually a limited forum, but you can get some data about how much a game earned, for example, and many more things. There is Google Scholar articles if someone is into PhD stuff. So Google Scholar is quite a good source of scientific articles and analysis. And there are surveys, just the most organic way of getting info from people that you ask questions. And one more source, that is the Playway Publishing that we used to be connected with, and we had a little insight in the data of over 40 plus games that were quite successful too, bigger and smaller than 911 Operator. So the things I'm going to tell here are actually based on, well, almost 100 of examples. Audience check, so once I ask you to raise your hand, but please all of you raise your hand, because this is going to be about statistics too. Okay, all of you raise your hands. Who didn't raise his hand? Nobody did, cool. Okay, so who makes indie games? Please again, statistics. I would love to record the audience, but luckily there is. Okay, cool. Who makes AAA games? Nobody here. Good, because this is not a presentation for you. So who released his game already? Okay, a couple of them. Who didn't? Okay, this is a presentation for you, for sure. And who is coder? Sorry, programmer. Okay, programmers there. Game designers? Okay, good. Nice, like 50-50. Who makes pay-to-play games? Okay, cool. And free-to-play games? Good. Like, okay, more for pay-to-play games. That's better. PC games? Okay, down. And mobile games? Okay, again, like 50-50. All the time 50-50. Cool. Except for the AAA games. That's good. So I'm going to mainly talk about pay-to-play games, the indie games, and PC games, Steam only. This is our area of expertise. Mobile, not so much. However, we are nominated for best indie game, best Polish indie game, mobile game of 2017 as 911 operator. That's quite a good portfolio too, I hope, to get some. So I'm going to talk about researching your idea for the game, just the basic pitch, like just tell me the idea of your game. But also at the few different levels, because the ideas are not only the idea that later comes to the body and become a product. So also at the level of pitch, prototype, demo, beta, and release stage, and later maybe DLCs. I'm also going to talk from both developer, as I used to be, and now publisher perspective. So, the most crucial and brutal thing about game ideas. So many people want to sign their NDAs for just the pitch. That's cool, that's very good practice, but don't be so strict about it. Game idea is worth $1. It's worth nothing. That's something, a sentence that you can read many, many different places, and it's really cruel, and it's true. It's the execution that is worth millions more. But what about the quality of the idea? Is the bad idea can be executed perfectly and then sell well? Because this is what we are going to talk about in general, how to sell games well and how to earn money, not just to get good reviews. It doesn't really imply one each other. So it may be a terrible idea can be made, can make a lot of money. Maybe a crazy idea can make a lot of money. How about a good idea executed terribly? Does it make money? Well, not so much. Okay. So there are a couple of ideas types. Okay, there are great ideas that are really well thought. They're like well designed, consulted. Really some things that nobody thought about before. New perspectives. Okay. Then there are crazy ideas, like things that a normal person wouldn't really think about implementing, but some brilliant minds can actually make it, or they find a viral new aspects and stuff. I think that there is a presentation here at Digital Dragons by Piotr Iwanicki about crazy ideas. I'm not going to talk about those, maybe a little. Then there are terrible ideas, really, terrible ideas. And I have to honestly tell, I'm sorry about many of those, but I've been to like 100 pitches sessions now, and I think that half of the games should be like cancelled at the idea stage. I'm going to soon talk about that. And then there is one more thing, copied ideas, that for people that don't really know what they want to do, so they think, oh, that game sells well, I'm going to make almost exactly the same game and sell it again. Okay? Because, I don't know, maybe they had a task at their studies, like let's make a tower defense game. Okay, so I'm making a tower defense game, and it goes and goes and goes and goes. Or they make a game jam, and they think about an idea in an hour, then they implement it for a day or two, and they think, oh, I spent 2 days implementing it. It would be a waste to cancel the project, so let's keep going. But so many times it's just a terrible idea, sorry. So the copied ideas are also not so cool, but it's a practice, especially for big companies that can copy a small game that never was successfully published, make it huge, invest a lot of money, and they earn even more. Okay, so the most important part here is the terrible idea. Now, how to different those two. Oh, right, sorry, one more thing. So we consult those, and people tend to do that ideas are bulletproof, like, I know better. And many of us tend to do so. Think that, okay, I know better. I just want to make this game. I don't care. No, no, no. This is not how it works. We are going to make the game for players, usually, except for those of you who make a game for themselves. And usually we at least want them to play. So we need those consultations. Next. So is it a great or terrible idea? First of all, the difference is it pitchable? Well, one question is, can you actually pitch that? And well, there are many presentations about that. Please watch the videos on YouTube, how to pitch the game. I recommend one presentation by Sosowski, made at Polygon, about just the pitching session. Can you pitch, or is your game pitchable? If you cannot put your game in one single sentence, there's something wrong about it. If you cannot make people know what your game is about in one sentence, then there's something wrong about it. Then has it unique selling points? Okay, something that differentiates your game from other. So important, so this needs to be here. Does it have a feature that nobody ever had? Does it have outstanding graphics that nobody ever saw? So many times I see two games and I can't tell the difference. Is it the same game? Actually, no, they're supposed to be different. They may be about something different, but they look the same. Okay, that's something wrong also. Then, is it playable, challenging, or interactive? I think I already told this at the meeting today, that if it just looks good, and you don't really have to play it, then people don't gonna play it. They're gonna watch it on YouTube, and you're not gonna see any money out of it. So the game needs to be interactive. Then if it's funny and entertaining, or anyhow engaging emotionally. Otherwise, if it's just a clicker, then we go for mobile, and this is not my area of expertise. You have to consult someone else. Is it possible to implement, and especially for you? Okay, that's the most basic problem is, oh, I'm going to make an MMO. Okay, I don't want to talk about this because this is such a huge subject and such a basic error to make MMO games when you don't have the skills for that. Then another one, audience size. That's, as a publisher, is very important for me. Do players that want to play this already exist? Do they want to play this kind of game? What's the audience size? If it's like 1,000 players, 10,000, or is it millions? For example, first-person shooters have an audience of like hundreds of millions. Strategy games, couple of millions. Okay, then there are clickers, again, tens of millions, but there are also like PC card games that don't really go so well, okay, or any like very niche games. And again, is it presentable, YouTubeable, sorry, new word, and variable? That's what I mean. Is someone going to make a video about it and tell how cool is it? Very important nowadays. So a little family fraud kind of question. This is, of course, for 911 operator. How did you find about our game? Oh, this is common for many different games. So what do you think was the first one? Say again? Oh, no. Any other guess? No. No. Yes, Steam. That's the Steam page. Sorry. So the prize goes for you. And this is the Steam impressions. Okay, Steam is such a powerful tool now. I have to remind you that this is a presentation for PC games, mobile maybe. That really it gets more than half of your impressions. How many people got to know it just by the single banner and title at the Steam main page. Then there's YouTube. So many YouTubers that play the games, sharing the videos, so many subscribers over there that next 32% or 25% comes from YouTube. They go from YouTube straight to Steam and they find the game. Then there is Facebook. So they just saw an ad on Facebook, little one, usually the video, they don't really care about text. Then there is media. So many people want to catch a media guy on this indie showcase now, but doesn't really care, doesn't matter so much nowadays. And then there are friends. Okay, so just person-to-person interactions, just telling and recommending the game. And the next one is just avoidable. Then, talking about the pitch, the idea, let's say, if it's going to be one sentence. So, first of all, what we do is check if someone else did it. Like, there's a lot of games on Steam, like a couple of thousands, right? 20, 30,000 of games on Steam, so we really can take a look there and find what's going on. But then, if you're gonna make, let's say, a tower defense, it's not enough to just type a tower defense, right? If people actually said tower defense in the keywords. For example, just for fun, we made a compass game that was based on Pirates of the Caribbean, right? And we wanted to check if someone already did it. The compass that can point in any direction. Just after a couple of months, we find out that we need to put Jack Sparrow into the keyword search just to find that there is such an application. Okay, that's a really small thing. Anyway, even if there is a game on Steam, and if it was really, really bad, then you can learn from their mistakes. Check the Steam reviews. They are available for everyone. You can just browse them. Even if there is 100, you can just click those down hands and check out what they didn't like about the game. And it gets really statistical. Even if 100 reviews, that is really small. And was it sold? How many reviews? Steam Spy. Okay, we know it's not really supportive anymore, but we still have number of reviews that is pretty easily corresponds to number of sales. Steam Spy still does it, like it can tell if it's 100 or 200,000 copies sold. But I don't even do that anymore. I just watch how many reviews did it had. If it's had like 1,000 reviews in the first year, then it means it was sold in like 50,000 copies. If it's 3,000 reviews in 2 years, then it's going to be like 200,000 copies. Okay, that's quite simple math. Then, what about this idea? Check with your team and friends. Okay, and the wider you go, the better. This is already quite a statistical group of people. So what are their faces like? Usually friends just clap your back and yes, yes, it's a cool game. Yes, please do it. Please do it. It's not this impression that you really want to make. It's only about the top 10, top 5% of the games that still earn satisfactory amount of money. So you need to be really, really high in those idea marks. And check with other game developers. This is what we came for the conferences too, right? This is the most brutal group of people that always want to point what you should add to your game or how you should make it better. And that's just so buggy and stuff. Okay. And one more thing, check if you like it. Please. So many pitches again then that people did a game because they figured out it might be a good game, but they don't really like it. They're not really passionate about it. Sorry, so small amount of time, so just something for a consideration. This is the Steam review page, and one question. This is a real game, not ours. The reviews were really good, like over 90%. What do you think happened over there? Any ideas? No. Paid DLCs are here. People really hate day one DLCs. Really, like it's really, your Steam reviews go like 10% lower, and your impressions going to be like 50% lower just because you had day one DLC. Like 10% of the people really hate it and dislike it. This was actually another DLC that people wanted in the base game, or they considered the base game to be abandoned. Okay, no updates anymore. This is Stellaris game. I really loved it, like 90,000 reviews, I believe. So awesome, and you can just take a look that they really didn't like the DLC and they hate the base game for that. Okay. So if you're not entertained by the presentation, please go to jutsu.pl and DD18 link. Please take your phones. Really, there's just 10 questions about games ideas that I would like you to just to say if it's cool or not. Okay? Please fill in the meantime. We still have like 10 minutes to talk. So then we go for a concept. So we already did the design doc, the content, the arts, the video. Let's say we have a short video that's really important, far more important than pitch itself. Just to have a short 1 minute long video. Even 30 seconds is fair enough, because that's what iOS needs. It accepts only 30-second long videos. And of course the prototype, that means something playable, vertical slice. Well, no, sorry, of course prototype is not vertical slice. Check out green light, there used to be something like this. Of course it doesn't work anymore. And it was never about that anyway. It was just about passing it. If you pass it in 1 day, 5 days, 30 days. If it was over 30 days, then it meant, no, you shouldn't do this game. And check out Facebook with a video. But that's really something far more important. Because at that stage, you should already have a Steam landing page where people can go straight from your video to the Steam landing page and add it to your wish list. And that wish list will then straight translate into your Steam sales. Then check with publishers. If a publisher is interested and he throws money on you, then it's a really good perspective, right? If he's not interested, tells come later and stuff, then there might be something wrong about your game idea. Check with us, as we are also a publisher now. Then we go for demo, something that you can actually share. Okay, 15 minutes of gameplay, maybe an hour of gameplay, pretty cool. And killer features implemented, of course. If it's not there, then it's gonna die. So first of all, make sure there are no bugs, there are no crucial bugs. Like you need at least 50 testers. A conference is a cool place for that. So many people come, play, break it. You never think about how they're gonna play it and where they're gonna break it, what they're gonna think about this game, how they're gonna interpret that. To get publishers again, and do a Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter is not about getting money anymore. No. It's about pre-sales now. If there are people who are actually gonna buy your game, even at this stage, at the demo stage, you can correspond it to early access. I'm going to talk about Kickstartering, because Kickstarter is a bit earlier, I think. It's not necessarily about passing it to the players itself, but about passing the game to YouTubers that can play the video, tell you something about it, share it to their audiences, and then, again, translate it to the Steam wishlist. And then implement Google Analytics. That's one technical aspect, very quite often avoidable by people, but this is going to tell you the real statistics of your game, including pirates. Okay, so coming about to the Kickstarter, if you go for KickTrack, this tells you, can tell you a story if it was a real one or if it was a bit faked Steam. It's a screenshot from KickTrack page, and you can analyze things, because all successful campaigns look like this, okay? Just flat. If it looks like this, there was something strange about it. Like, usually this means that this campaign was actually going to fail, and some mysterious sponsor paid to make this Kickstarter successful. This was not a successful game then, sorry. This is how it usually looks like. It just jumps up and down, up and down, up and down. This is again what KickTrack can tell you about if I should Kickstarter my game, because it's similar to some other games. Okay, then beta. 80% done, 80% more to go. Everybody knows this sentence, hopefully. And that's the place when you can check your idea, game pitch, with a large number of testers. If you're gonna release your game and it's gonna be successful, you need like thousands of testers, not necessarily a company of testers. That's 20, maybe 50 testers, the best. But I mean like 2,000-3,000 of players that's gonna check it on every possible software and hardware configuration, that they're gonna tell you the bottlenecks in your performance. If you have server multiplayer games, that's like terrible important. And Kickstarter backers are fantastic large-scale testers. Usually there is a prize that you get the game earlier in beta stage. Very good practice. And check your Google Analytics, because people won't really tell you, or you're gonna see some really small discussions or emails. Just 1% of people really answers tell you, but Google Analytics will gather those things all together, and you're gonna see where the problems are. It's gonna tell you some more things. What people do, you can implement the actions in the video, in the Google Analytics. If there is a performance issues, there is a piracy already, because you send like 10,000 codes, but there are 20,000 players. Where did they came from? Apparently, Kickstarter backers also share the game on Pirate Bay. And then there is an option to parameterize if you actually want the players to win more often or lose less often, or have more enemies at the same time, because you're never sure about what your randomized function might do. And check your wish list, because it's not release date yet. One of very good practices for publishers is to have at least 10,000 wish list additions before the release. And this is like the lower borderline of getting successfully released and then being featured by Steam. They do it automatically. You cannot agree this with anyone. And then get additional 30,000 wishlist addition and 100,000 addition and so on. This is like a self-sustaining machine. And this is one of the Google Analytics, the tool for researching your game. What do players actually click in the game, in the menu? So, for example, in 919 Operator, we had those events when the player clicked something in the menu. So, like 25% of them went for the career mode, and yeah, 24 options. That's quite a lot. What are they looking for over there? Maybe something is not intuitive. That was a good check. Then they go for career mode on mobile. Sorry, that's mixed with the mobile version as well. And let's take a look. Only 5% of them go for help panel. Even less than the credits window that usually the players don't care about at all. Yeah, cruel. And then the release. Your game is available and full of bugs. And check your analytics again, what's going on. The analytics can also gather the errors. So you're gonna get the stack trace. Check your reviews globally, because so many times people just follow a single discussion thread that 10 or 20 people actually discuss some issues. This is not really a place to follow. What you care for are the reviews, that there are 100, maybe 200, maybe 1,000 of them. Just please put one person to analyze them, gather and group. What do people actually care about? What can you improve there? Use the Steam reviews globally. And do not follow the single discussion claims. Yeah. Do you know what this is? Oh yeah, it tells. Daily wishlist actions. Those peaks are the release and each Steam sale. So in between, there is virtually nothing. Okay, no wishlist additions. You can put quite a lot of money into marketing, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna be so efficient as a single Steam sale, as a single Steam featuring for a daily deal, for some discounts and stuff. And as that graph didn't really show how it goes, this is the release day. So before that, the wishlist additions with all the effort put into promoting the video are not gonna be so visually effective as those featuring again later. But this is so much important, because if you get those 10,000 wishlist additions before the release, then you're gonna get 100,000 release. This is how it works. This is how Steam features the projects. So in here, you really care about each peak. Over there, not so much. Okay. And this is where you need a publisher usually. Otherwise, you will have to put a lot of money into marketing yourself. Okay, and the post-release. sorry, time is over. So I'm gonna to tell just to check. That's the same. Make a survey. Give some prizes. Yeah, that's the point I missed. Just ask the players to tell you what the game is about. Just a single survey can give you so much input, like the one that we did. 5,000 people replied to that just because we wanted to give, I think, 20 DLC codes and so much input thanks to that. And this is what we can ask for making DLCs, for example. Not again follow the single discussion threads, but just ask thousands of players, then it's a statistical, what they really actually want to get as a DLC or a sequel. Okay. So just to summarize, please check your ideas with the audience, with as big audience as possible. Don't bother to limit your idea and keep saving it for yourself. And find a publisher, maybe for help, maybe work with us, get invested. Thank you so much, and please rate the speech, as there is an app for for rating the speeches. Okay, and any questions? Thank you. Yes, if you want the questions, please line up, or because there is a microphone over here. Yeah.
Hello, thanks for your talk. What do you think about releasing a mobile game in one market only? Like I heard about a team who released its game first in Canada only, because it's a pretty small country, and then it released to the United States, which is a much bigger country.
Of course.
And
yes.
And they are very similar, so they analyzed the data, and based on that they make some tweaks before releasing to USA.
Of course. There is a very nice sentence for a code, sorry, that doesn't come to my mind now, like an early release, right, just for one country. Very good mobile practice. Actually, that's a must-do, because this is how you get the large-scale tests on mobile. You can do this on PC just by sending some codes before that, but on mobile this is an only option actually, just to release the game in, let's say, in Canada, because it's so similar to United States. And yeah, then you can do some additions, make some adjustments to your game, and then release it worldwide. So this is actually, those are actually the tests.
So you can do it like a couple times even, right?
Yeah,
you can release
yes,
first in Europe, then in Canada, then tweak again, and then release worldwide.
When you publish an update on your mobile application, you can actually decide either on which country does it go, or on how large percentage of application instances it's going to update on. You can update on 10% of the applications, and then check if it's going to work, if people are going to like it.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? Please.
I have a question. What do you think if there is a game on Steam that was actually totally indie production, and basically it had a small amount of comments, like 100, but each one was totally positive, and each one was like, there is not enough content, we want more content. But from other hand, it was only 100 comments. Do you think it was worth to?
It's a very good reference. Actually, that's a very important issue. Somebody made a perfect game, but he didn't market it well. He didn't put any dollar on marketing. That's a perfect opportunity for those copied ideas, or when the publisher finds them and thinks, okay, let's make, sorry, not gonna jump through all those, and find that this is actually a game that worth copied, or maybe just worth putting more money into marketing, and find out if it catches, and if they gonna sell it better than that. So that, yeah, when it's 100 reviews and all positive, then it's a good reference. That the marketing was just terrible.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions? No. Okay, so I have one more comment, sorry, about the this survey. All of those ideas were actually real game. And the most crazy of them, sorry, I don't have my computer, I will show you the results, and I'm already predicted what the results are going to be. So, for example, if you answer this question about this homosexual daddy simulator, this is a real game called Dream Daddy Dating Simulator that was in top 10 games for a week. So that means they made like a couple of $1 million. Really, really, really. And another like Bum Simulator is also a real game about simulator of a homeless person that already has, well, a lot of wishlist additions. And the others are also being implemented and were already checked with the audience of 100 people or plus. Okay. Oh, I have the visual again. So just to show you, the Bum Simulator is a real thing, right? The homeless person simulator. And the Dream Daddy is also a real game that have like, you might see it well, but it's like 2,000 reviews. So it means like 200,000 copies sold and a couple of $1 million made. Okay, thank you. If you want to see the full survey results, please come.